are now watching The Dialogue.
1, 2, 3. Celibacy!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second recording of The Dialogue. We are so excited to be here today with everybody. Clearly, we have everybody this time. We got Tiffany and Shrita, but we got Amaris here now, and now we have a special guest, Heather, Miss Heather. So today we are going to be talking about celibacy. And I know everybody, I had so many DMs, text messages, phone calls, like, when you going to talk about celibacy? I want to hear it. Here is the moment. And I was like, what better way to have everybody that's a part of the journey involved in the conversation? It just makes it right. So we're going to all talk about it. It's going to be a very candid conversation. We're going to try to answer every question that I have heard. We're going to just try to get it all out. I have everybody's question in my phone. We're going to try to get to that point. So first, I just want to kind of ask everybody a question. We're just going to have like a girl talk. So we'll start with Aramis and kind of like work our way down to Heather. So what does celibacy look like to you, Aramis?
Well, celibacy looks like to me faithfulness. God really put it on my heart to be faithful to him because he has always been faithful to me. And my walk with him has just been a long journey, and he's just been amazing and showing me things within myself throughout the whole thing. So faithfulness.
Right. Yes. Sharita.
For me, celibacy looks like sexual purity.
Okay.
And it looks like it is a search for identity for me.
Okay, so for me, celibacy looks like self-control. It looks like creating boundaries and setting them. It looks like having a sense of respect and value for yourself, and for you to know your limitations, to know that you're trying to create something further than just with you and a guy. It's between you and God. So to me, it's more than just like, oh, I'm just holding myself for a husband. It's more like, no, I'm doing this thing for me and God. Mm-hmm. So it's a deep situation.
Yeah.
My celibacy looks like empowerment. It is just being in control over your body. You voluntarily making that decision on what you're going to do with your body and when you're going to do it. And also intimacy. Intimacy with God, and also intimacy with your future partner.
Yep. Heather?
Intimacy, to me, it looks like self-identity, because as God laid it on my heart to become celibate, I've been able to find myself and identify with the things that I am as a person and the things that I would like to seek out of a man of God for my future husband. And also discipline, because it's taught me obedience and the power behind intentional relationship when it comes to my friendships, when it comes to my partner, and when it comes to my intimate relationship with God and myself.
Yep.
So
as you see, we all have different views on what celibacy looks like to us. And like the main question that I've been getting to everybody is, why are you doing this, Monica? Like literally people they don't get it. They're like, you're single, you're beautiful, you haven't been in a relationship in a long time. Like why? Like why is sex that serious for you to hold back on? So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to answer this question by myself. I want all the girls to come together, because we all have different outlooks and views and point of views and overall goals on why we are celibate and why we're practicing it. And now it's just our time to just talk and just share our own individual journey. So I just have an overall question. What does the journey look like for you now? Okay, so we talked about what it looks like and your goals, like, discipline and this and that and the other. But right now, what does it look like? What does it look like? Okay, today, have we failed? Do we fail? Is it hard? Is it easy? Who are your accountability partners? Why are we doing it? So let's just talk about it. Okay. Who wants to start?
Okay, the struggle is it. It equaling celibacy in itself is the struggle.
Right.
I feel like that's been the biggest thing.
Right.
The comments we get from people that aren't practicing it and wanting to know like why we're withholding from it.
Right. So why are you withholding from it? What is your why?
My why, my biggest thing was broken relationships and in the broken relationship, it was a continuous cycle of me dating potentially the same person, just a different face.
Right.
And so when God met me, kind of like in the place of, hey, do you truly want to do this? It was, hey, when are you going to be done doing the same repetitive cycle, basically of insanity and getting the same result? And it wasn't until I started my celibacy journey that I recognized that it was me that needed to identify who I was in order to identify what I wanted in a partner.
Yeah. I heard this as you was talking. I want to identify first, what is celibacy? Is it refraining from sex? Is it intercourse? Is it kissing? Is it touching? What is celibacy? Because a lot of people say, well, okay, fine, I won't have sex while I'm engaged, but they still kissing, touching, doing other stuff. So let's first identify when we say celibacy, so the viewers can know what we're really talking about. What is celibacy? Like, as a whole, what is that?
Well, celibacy to me is sexual, it's mental, like your thoughts, it's boundaries. Like, I know that I can't be around a man and him touching my leg because I can't do it. It's going to take me to another level.
You can't do that.
Right.
So it's a lot of things. I think celibacy means different things for different people. Like, for Sharita, she doesn't want to kiss in her celibacy walk. To me, I can kiss in my celibacy walk, but I can do a pet.
We can't exchange the tongue.
We can't do it because it takes you to another level.
Right.
So you just have to know your level.
Yeah.
My level, I know my level. So there's things in my walk of celibacy that I know I can't do.
Yes.
Because you got to know your triggers. You got to know how far you can go. Like Monica touched base on boundaries. What is it for you that's going to trigger you to go further? Because then you know you gotta withhold from that. So maybe it's not going into a person's house. You might not be able to go back to a man's house or a man come into your house. You may not be able to have Netflix and chill. Okay. So because that might be too much for you, it might open a door that allows you to go further.
Right. And the whole purpose, I know Sharita wants to say something too, but the whole purpose of knowing your boundaries and your limits is because the ultimate goal is to become closer to God and to live a life that God has called you to live. And, you know, for me, having sex outside of marriage got me a baby, got me a situation where we're separately parenting, and that's hard. And why would I want to do it that way over and over again? When God has ordained for us to be married and to follow his order, once you step out of order, you get chaos, you get all this bitterness and anger. You get so much stuff. When you just do it the way God asked you to do it, it's so much easier. And Sharita was saying today, what if you take sex out of the relationship completely? For one whole month, just don't have sex with your partner. What would that really look like? So those setting boundaries and stuff like that can honestly open up more eye-opening experiences for you too when you do stuff like that. But go back to what you think.
You kind of stole the words. So confirmation. I just think that what the general public needs to understand is that celibacy is different between abstinence, or different between I'm gonna take a sabbatical from sex. You know, it is a vow and a commitment that you're making not only with yourself but with God, with whatever your spiritual growth is going to be, who your spiritual higher power is. So I really do think that if you put all of our whys together, that defines perfectly what celibacy is. Take the faithfulness, take the discipline, take everything all together, and it really defines what celibacy is. That is your why. That is why you're doing it.
Well, that's also the celibacy that we're discussing.
Exactly.
We're discussing that intimacy, the sexual abstinence until marriage on a spiritual level. But to answer your question, Monica, for me, celibacy can mean I'm abstaining from a relationship, like what you're doing, like a no dating right now. And celibacy can also mean I'm not kissing. I'm dating, but I'm not kissing in a relationship. I'm not even having sex with them. Or some people, I'm not gonna hold your hand. I'm not gonna do any of that. We can date, we can do all of that, but I'm not gonna do any of that until we're married. Celibacy is just like really a voluntary expression of you saying that you're going to abstain from something until I'm ready. And in the spiritual sense, it's a union. It's marriage.
And everyone's timing is going to be different for when they feel that I'm ready. I think that's huge.
So what got us, I want us all to say it too. So we'll start with Heather and then go back this way this time. But what led you to making the overall decision? Okay, we know what celibacy means. Okay, we know what those triggers are on when we in that situation of the decision. But what led you to even making the decision of celibacy? Like, what got you to that point?
Good question. Well, I personally, with Monica back last May, so 2 Mays ago, did a fast with her for 30 days. And during that fasting, I began praying about my past relationships. And God asked me one question that got me to stay true to celibacy, and that was, how long have you been single? And I had to think about that. And it wasn't just a day. It took me about a week to really digest how long in my entire life of dating, young dating, high school dating, that I've been single. And I could only answer 6 months at a time. 6 months was the longest of my 30 years of being living and dating that I had been single.
Right.
And I told God, I said, wow. I kind of looked at that and said, I don't want all of these broken relationships. I don't want to keep binding myself to soul ties. And inheriting all these other feelings and emotions into myself that I don't even know how to control because I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wanted to commit myself to that 30 days. And 30 days led to 6 months. And now I'm 8 months.
Yep.
So going strong.
Yes.
It's a struggle though.
Yeah. The struggle is real. And we're going to talk about that next.
Real.
We are. We're going to talk about the struggles. Tiff?
So my celibacy journey started this past August.
Yes.
So it'll be a year.
Yeah.
In this August.
Yeah.
But to be honest with the viewers and with I'm still trying to figure out my why.
Yeah.
I believe that celibacy should be voluntary.
Right.
Voluntary, and I don't know if it's voluntary or I'm just not dating, you know what I mean?
Right,
Which one is it?
Right.
So I'm still trying to figure out my why. But I know right now, what I'm contented is that I'm doing it for me,
exactly,
my body, and like Heather said, I'm coming from just no nonsense relationships, and it's just something that it was solely evolved around sex. Like Sharita said, what if sex was not in a relationship? I'm learning that I need to have intimacy in other ways. I need to be intimate with your mind. I need you to be intimate with mine. I need you to figure out my story and not just what's in between my legs.
Right. Amen.
Let's be real.
Yeah, and then I really just I do, I do want to get married. That's something I want to do. And I believe I'm a queen and that I'm worth it and I'm worth the wait. So I feel like celibacy is a part of that.
Yes, I agree.
So my decision actually came from a previous relationship that I had. This particular person was practicing celibacy and he brought it to my attention. I was like, what? Like, what you mean? We're not going to have sex? And I was like, I mean, this is what, huh? And like what? And he said, I really value you as a woman. And this is the first time a man talked to me like this. And he was like, I value who you are. I value you as a queen. And I think that, your body should be valued. And I don't want to just get to know you through your body. I want to get to know Monica. And I said, what you say? I was really intrigued by that because that was like an aha moment because little did he know, even if, he meant it or not, in that moment he spoke to me, that little me that knew like he's right. Like I don't want to keep doing this wrong.
It kind of checked your spirit.
And it kind of checked my spirit like, wait, like maybe he's right. It was challenging. We failed. We failed multiple times. And I realized that as a woman, we're stronger mentally and emotionally than the man. Yeah. So yes, he came to me with this like macho, like I'm about to be celibate. But because I wasn't evenly yoked with him and eye to eye with him, there was some times I was like, hey, And so we failed because like Eve was to Adam. Here's the apple. Yeah. Come on, you can eat this apple. That's how we are to men. We can easily get them that quick because we're stronger than them. God created us to be stronger than them. Their backbone, their support. So before I get too spiritual, I started thinking like that. Like, you know what? Like, I got convicted. Like, I'm making this man fall. Like, he will cry and be like, I don't want to do this. And I'll be like, you know what? I'm about to practice it with him. So now I bought this book called The Wait by Megan Good and Devon Franklin. And it changed my life forever. And once I read Megan Good and Devon Franklin's journey, I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. Because not saying that I want something like them because everybody's going to be different, but I want someone to love me like that and to value me like that. And ever since that moment, it's going to be 2 years this October. I have been refraining from being sexual with anybody I'm in a relationship with because I want you first to value me, and I want to get closer to God, and I want us to be evenly yoked, and I want us to get to that level together. And sometimes sex can confuse things, and I'm really big on soul ties too.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that. But
cloudiness.
I want Shrita and Amherst to get their answers.
Yeah.
The question is, what made you choose celibacy?
Okay, so I honestly, real talk, I feel like I've been on the journey of celibacy since I lost my virginity. To be honest, the whole thing was a mistake. For the last few years, I definitely think that I've been on and off, but I have been stable since September of last year. Yep. And my reasoning was because my relationship, which is a very long-term relationship, was crumbling. Yes. And it was getting to the point where the only happiness we were finding ourselves was before, during, and after sex. So if it wasn't around sex, we were constantly arguing. So to be honest with you, it didn't start off as a spiritual thing. It was kind of like an empowerment, like Tim was talking about. It was more like, I'm not giving you no more of me. Yeah. And then from that on, I seen how our relationship crumbled. And of course, as Christians, when things crumble, we go to God, to our strength, and that's where it went. Right. And so it started off as being something like I'm doing this for me, but then it ended up being a commitment to God. So that's where I'm at now.
Amen.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like Sharita, where I was in the place of like kind of angry at myself and angry in this whole situation that I was in. Yeah. And so I was like, I'm not having sex anymore. But then, like you said, when you're alone and when you're by yourself and you get closer to God, and God's like, no, I need you to commit to me. I need you to make this commitment to me that you're going to abstain and you're going to give me all of you. And that was my mind, my body, and my soul, and everything. So, in the last time it's been a long time. The first time Obama came in office, it was like a celebratory,
So it's been what, 10 years?
Almost.
Yes, almost.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Praise God. One time.
A long time.
Yo, your Boaz is coming.
Okay, Jesus.
Boaz is coming.
And all of it though, like I've been tested multiple times. I have been in the bed multiple times, but I haven't had sex. Right. But I've done sexual things. Right. So my celibacy, well, it could be, some people consider other things sexual things.
I have a question about that.
Oh, okay.
So how?
Okay.
How do you sleep in a bed with somebody
and not go all the way?
And not want to have sex or feel tempted to have sex?
Question.
Okay, so I'll answer it. I'm being stared down. Okay.
Haven't been there since my celibacy.
Cause I can't.
I've been there multiple times. And you can answer it.
Okay, so we'll answer it together. We can answer because
please. The people want to know.
The people want to know.
The people want to know.
I really feel like it's all about what you can tolerate. Once again, don't forget what I mentioned at the beginning. Those limitations and those boundaries, those triggers, and also your self-control. You have to know yourself. If you know that when you lay down in the bed, it's going to go down, then I suggest he exit stage left and go home. Or I suggest y'all don't even come back to the house, period. You got to know your boundaries as well. You may have a friend that you literally just have as a friend. I have a really great friend. We're literally just friends. If he was to come over right now and just to spend a night, there's nothing that's going to happen. Because in me and his respect level that we have, we know that that's not just where we're at. There's nothing that we share intimately with each other, no attraction we have. We're literally just friends. However, if someone else was to come over that I am attracted to, I can't promise you it's gonna happen when that door shut. Okay. So what I am going,
you wouldn't invite that.
I wouldn't even invite that person over.
So basically, the person that is just a friend is the same thing as if Hez was spending a night.
Absolutely.
Right. It's platonic.
It's platonic.
It's a friendship.
You can sleep in my bed.
I'm sleeping in your bed.
Excuse me. Now, what if that person's attracted to you?
Okay, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
It is. That's very good.
If the person is attracted to you, they're going to tempt you. Mm-hmm. They're going to touch you. Right. They're going to try. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest, y'all. We lay in the bed together. Right. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I don't like sleeping with all these clothes on. I don't. I'm hot. Okay,
You wanna
so
cuddle.
I like to sleep comfortably.
Right.
Yeah.
You're laying next to a man that probably also don't like to sleep with all these clothes on.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen when two of y'all lay in the bed?
Okay.
Regardless if you're not attracted to him or not, if you know that he is sexually attracted to you, don't even put yourself in that position.
No.
Because if you're really practicing on holding yourself into your husband, you're gonna fall.
And like
you're gonna fall.
like Sharita said, that's sexual purity. That to me, that's not sexual purity if that's like your trigger.
Exactly.
Because if somebody's laying next to you half naked.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Em. But
Temptation.
I just had a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really want to know.
it's a good
because I'm not there yet.
And I'm not there.
It's gonna be a no for me. No spending the night.
Yep.
It
No.
ain't happening.
That's her
I don't
boundary.
care if we friends.
That's her boundary.
And
And that's my boundary.
I don't really care. There's no sleepovers.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
sleep.
And that's my boundary and that's my rule and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to know, like, how y'all. I really admire y'all.
But I admire
You have to
your.
know, like you said, you have to know your
And
limitations.
I pray that I have self-control, like as I grow in this journey. But it's not that I don't have self-control. It's just my boundary. I say no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Heather used to tell me this all the time. We are naturally born sexual beings.
Yes.
That's how God created us
us.
to create,
Yes.
to
Yes.
make love,
Yes.
to be
Yes.
loved.
Yes.
So it's going to be a natural feeling for you to love somebody
innate
and
feeling.
want to be
Yes.
touched
Yes.
and want to be intimate.
Yeah.
But where we go wrong is how much we give our body away to different men, multiple women, whoever,
Yes.
that are not deserving of our bodies. Because God wants us to be whole for one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I keep hearing this question in my head, so I gotta ask her because I feel like this people might wonder, like, but why? Like, I'm having sex and me and my husband, or me and my boyfriend, we doing good. Like, I'm having sex, he live with me.
Right.
I'm good. I've been pregnant before. We gotta have another one coming on the way. Like, we don't got no problems. Like, y'all can do that celibacy talk, but to be honest with you, like, we're good. So I don't see the point in doing this. What can y'all say to the women that just don't see the point? They don't get it. Their life is going completely fine. Sex is not a factor for them. They don't see nothing wrong with having sex. Yes, they're Christians. Yes, they go to church. They believe in the word, but just that part of the word, they just don't understand it. What do y'all say to that?
I mean, that's a difficult question, but to me, if you're giving yourself fully to God, you have to give yourself fully to God. Like, and it's everything, every area of your life, your job, your house, your body, your spirit, your mind, everything needs to go to God.
I agree.
So if you can't say, oh, I'm a Christian and I'm living my life for God, except for this one area.
Yeah.
Give it all to God.
It's not an exception.
I like that. That was good.
I like that too.
I think I would challenge that person. I would ask them, okay, just for a week, stay from sex and see how good your relationship really is after that week. Because I do think that once you see that without sex things are going to change, you're going to know why people are becoming celibate. But I'm also going to say celibacy is a spiritual journey, it is definitely something that person is not there yet.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it's not something
that's
that,
okay.
especially for people like us who have already had sex.
Right.
Yep.
So like I was talking to the girls before, it's a redemption thing.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel nothing wrong with that yet, how can you be redeemed? So it has a moment. It is a journey, and once they get it, they get there.
Right.
But my challenge for those people is try it.
Try it.
Try for a week to stay from sex.
A week, maybe a month.
See if your man still come home.
Well, what if you like
That's real talk.
say, like I used to always say this, well, he's gonna be my husband.
Justification.
Yes, I think
So,
we've all
like,
been guilty of
He
that.
talks about marrying
He
me.
talks about
So
marrying me.
like, okay, so
Justification.
what do you tell somebody that thinks like that?
Do you have a ring on your finger?
And I'm also gonna say something.
You have a ring on your finger?
It's coming.
Yeah,
Stop
but I'm with
judging.
Sharita. I'm also with that.
coming.
If you are not married, you are single. And that's what a lot of these women out here don't understand, especially men too. Because it's not just women out here trying to be celibate, men are too. And if we, as the woman that are stronger mentally and emotionally, cannot be stronger for our men, these kings that we are looking for, it's not that there's no good men out here still. It's just that sometimes us women, we might be stronger in that department, and we need to fight for our men in that, and be accountable. And in that, Monica touched base on this earlier. You know, you really need to have an accountability partner. Sometimes when I'm feeling myself, because let's be honest, we all get caught up in our feelings. And this journey that Sharita just got done touching base on is hard. And you need somebody that's going to hold you accountable. And it does go back to boundaries. You can't be up in the club looking for a godly man if you want a godly man in the club. That's not to say that no godly men are going to be in the club, or, you know, club men are not going to be in church, you know, but it just goes back to like, what are you looking for and why are you doing this?
And just real quick, I want to say that my answer would be to woman or man who is like, sexually active with their partner and that before marriage is to like try intimacy in a different level. Like kind of what Shrita's hitting on.
Yes.
I would challenge them like, first see how y'all are without it.
Right.
Because we all know that, sex does change things.
Yes. Emotions.
It puts a different energy in the air.
It
should not be the blue.
It shouldn't
So
be the
ask
blue.
yourself, what are we without sex?
Yes.
And this goes beyond spiritual. We're all very spiritual. We
Yes.
all are doing this because of our connections with God. But if you're not, and you want to know more about God, always DM us. We'll pray with you, whatnot.
Absolutely.
But if
Always.
this is not your spiritual journeys and you still want to try celibacy, my suggestion is to ask yourself, what are we without sex?
Right.
And if you have a whole long list and whatnot, that's cool. But you should still try it and challenge yourself to see how long y'all can go without it.
And for the ones who's justifying it, that means you want to be married. So you also have to understand, is that even a conversation and what you and your man is having? Right. Because if you really, really think marriage is the next step and then that should be what you guys are working for towards then. Like why, if marriage is that next step, then not having sex wouldn't hurt that.
Exactly.
You know, if anything, it will make it come. It shouldn't hurt that. So but I'm a victim to that. For a very long time, I justified it. I justified it.
Oh my God, that was
like,
my main thing.
I did it too.
You know what I mean?
I think we all did.
And plus, real
I'll
talk.
tell God. I'll pray to God about it. Like, Lord, He is my husband, so
It's
I
okay.
know I'm okay.
What we doing is
I even use
okay.
the word. Because in the word it says whoever you lay with is your husband.
So I was like, look, I'm in. Excuse me. That was the main reason why I said it. Hello. It was scripture based.
Yes,
It was
scripture.
scripture based.
Okay. I said so. I guess I'm married.
I was living in the word.
Yeah,
but it was my truth. It wasn't God's truth.
Exactly.
And that's the difference.
Exactly.
We're making up our own truths here.
Exactly. We're walking by our side and not by
Like
faith.
you said, I have no
That's what
ring
we're
on my
doing.
finger. I have no commitment. It was not a committed long term. We walked down that aisle. We made a vow to each other. It was not that.
And if you think about the silliness, God also promised us prosperity. When I get my check, I don't see $1 million, so I'm not going to spend like I got $1 million. So if I have a ring on my finger, I'm going to act like I'm married.
Okay.
So it's a lot of things that people got to like double check and think about.
I wish I had a light bulb.
I wish we had that was the word.
That was a word.
But what I hear that is consistent is that you have to really reevaluate your walk with God.
Right.
And there's no justification that how you choose to live for God.
Exactly.
If you choose to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, that's you.
That's you.
And you're just not going to be at
it
this
is
step
one
of
thing if you
celibacy.
don't know or you do know, but if you know,
Yeah.
you got to do the right thing.
You gotta do the right thing.
Yeah. And doing the right thing is not always easy.
No.
It is not always easy.
No.
It's a struggle.
Temptation.
Literally practicing, doing anything with discipline is always going to come with tests.
Yes.
Yes.
And trials.
Just like with being fit, going to the gym.
Going to the gym.
You have to, it's more than just lifting weights and exercising. You have to eat right. That's the discipline. I can't eat my chips and
It's
my
a
donuts.
lifestyle too. It's a lifestyle.
I can't go to McDonald's no
It's a
more.
lifestyle.
It's a
It is
lifestyle.
not a diet.
Exactly.
So do you guys think celibacy is a lifestyle?
Absolutely.
It's a lifestyle.
That's the difference.
Absolutely.
So it becomes a part of your routine.
Yes.
Period.
Especially
Your daily life.
Since you already
Because-
had sex.
Yes.
Because
especially if you've
of
already
your
had
thoughts.
sex.
Yes. Mind, body, and soul.
So,
Celibacy affects,
they are
which
all
means
one.
sex affects it.
Yep.
So I mean, so you definitely 100% need to be careful with who you lay with, who's around you, what you're seeing, you know, what you're reading.
And when you lay with one, you might be laying with who they've laid with. Like all those soul ties, emotions get inside you.
Just saying that.
So if your ex dude just laid with crazy, guess what? Crazy just got up inside you. So if you're feeling all kinds of crazy and it's not you, then you're feeling that emotion, that
Depression.
Yes.
Anxiety.
yes,
Loneliness.
oppression, loneliness.
Yeah.
Anger.
Yes.
I was wondering why I was feeling all these emotions sometimes when in the beginning of my walk. And I had to pray. I'm like, God, please take away these soul ties, God.
So, Amaris, what does soul ties mean? Like, what does that mean? Because Heather has mentioned it. We all mentioned what soul ties mean. And a lot of people don't even know.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean when you say that?
I mean,
Right.
Well, yeah. Mainly soul ties means when you have sexual intercourse with someone, the connection that you guys have together. But it also can mean like relationships, the energy that you have around you. Like I can be soul tie connected to her because she is my family, my cousin, my friend, like Heather. The energy that you give to other people, if it's negative energy. I work in a very emotional environment. So when I leave, I sometimes have a heavy weight on me. That's a soul tie. So the people, the people, the job, everybody, everything, energy that's around you, it can be a soul tie.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of that and say too that soul ties is, to me, well, it's the same thing, but it's a transferring of energy. So who you spend a lot of time with, you're eventually gonna adapt some of their characteristics and traits and beliefs. You are who you hang with. Now take it deeper. You're intimate with somebody. You are spending time working. Okay, with each other. That's a lot of transferring. And
It's actually really nasty.
it is. And then you feel good. You feel good. Yes. This is a good point. You feel good when it's done. But what do you feel like the day after when you thought about that argument I just had the day before? But sex made it feel good for that moment.
For that moment.
But then you thought about, you still the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, so what did you say when you always thinking about that person, like they running through your mind?
That's a soul tie. That's a soul tie.
Like it's driving you crazy.
Or
everybody's been there.
At first, you were never worried about something, and all of a sudden, you started worrying about certain things. Like, wait a minute.
Or jealousy.
I'm starting to act like this person.
Envy.
But also, soul ties can be good.
Yes.
So I cannot have sex with you. I don't have sex with Heather.
No.
She's my friend. But me and her transfer. We transfer energies. You know what I'm saying? That are positives.
Amen. You know, laughter is good. You gotta have the strong mind. You got to be honest.
There is some strengths that she gives me that I didn't have at first. Some strengths that I transferred to her. Same as this connection. Same as the connection that we had with people that we have worked with. Same as somebody that it massages you. That's a soul tie. When they are releasing energy. Yes.
Everybody.
That's a good
just
point.
Be careful. I'm just telling you. Just be
Intentional
careful.
relationships.
You gotta be careful.
Intentional relationships.
Okay, so I think we had a really good conversation.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this was dope. We gotta continue. The next conversation, I will have to say, because Heather and Amers and everybody straight at Tiffany, we were bringing up good points because what do you do when you're really into somebody? You're really, really into somebody, but they're not practicing celibacy.
Right.
But you really like this person, and he's working towards being closer to God. He goes to church, but he don't look at celibacy as being something that he has to do. But you really like him. That can be a conversation that we talk about in dating.
Yes.
And our next video will be dating, because dating is actually one of our struggles that we talk about while we're practicing celibacy. Because I have a lot of men that have been attracted to me, but when they hear that I'm not doing that, they slowly but surely get on my phone, which shows me their intent.
Yes.
And I don't want a man like that. If all you after is my body,
thank you, Jesus.
You know,
weed them out.
I don't want that.
Right.
So we are gonna talk about dating next, and I'm so excited. Actually, I want you to come back for dating.
Yeah.
Back on for dating. Maybe we'll have somebody else in like a man perspective.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
So we'll do that. I just want to tell you guys thank you for joining us again for the second recording of the dialogue. The first one was great. We talked about fasting, and we actually still just got off of a fasting journey. It was amazing. We're going to do another one. We're trying to do it quarterly. Now this season, we're like, you know what? We had a lot of questions about celibacy, so it is time to talk about celibacy because it's not easy. It's not hard, but nothing worth it comes easy. Nothing. This business that we're running, friendships that we're keeping, trying to be good at your job. It's not easy. Getting your degrees, getting different things in your life, getting houses. Nothing comes easy, but it's worth it when you put in that tenacity, that discipline, that, you know what I mean, that self-control. It's worth it. So I encourage you, like Sharita said, you're worth it, right? And I encourage, like Sharita said, for you to just try it.
Yes,
just like we said with fasting, just try it. Give it a week. Ask God, repent with God. Ask him to change your mind, change your heart. God, I know what you want me to do. I know you called me to be somebody different in life. I know you have promises and plans for me. But there's sometimes I don't feel like I'm getting there. I feel like I'm missing the mark. Every time I try, I feel like I'm missing it. And it could be that he's trying to hold on to your heart, but you 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And you can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Because is that how you do with your man that you're sleeping with? Or do you give him all of you? Think about it. So there's some things that you kind of have to reevaluate with your walk with Christ and ask yourself, am I really giving my all to God? And if so, what does that look like? Because I give my all to everything. I've got PhDs, I got houses, I got multiple children with a great house. I give my all to money. I give my all to everything in this world, but I choose not to give it to the one person that provided it for me.
Okay.
And that is a question that you must ask yourself, because once you really commit yourself to God and say, God, I'm willing to give you my all, He will bless you with more than you ever could imagine. He will bless you with that husband that can lay it down better than the one you with right now. So it's good to just think about those promises that God really has for you, and to really stay encouraged and align yourself with the people with like-minded minds and souls, and the soul ties that's around you, because these are your accountability partners, people that can hold you up and build you up. We encourage you. We love you. We thank you for joining us. Come back. We're going to come back again with the third video, dating. We love y'all.
Try it.
Thank y'all for being here. Yes, we did it. We did it.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.